In this video, we're going to create a chart report using the BrightWork Reporter web part. First, I'm going to go to an existing page where I want to add this chart to the page. And now I'm going to edit the page to add the web part to the page. I want this chart to appear in the center left section or zone of this page. So I'm going to select that web part link from that zone and navigate to the BrightWork Reporter category and the Reporter web part and add it to the page. Next, I want to put it in the right position. I want it to be the second chart to appear on that section. So I'm going to click and hold and drag the previous section up so that it's below it. Now I can stop editing. So now my report web part is on the page and I can configure it to present a chart. So I'll click on the link within the report web part and that brings up the configure reporter settings. As with any report, select your data source. This is going to be a project summary type chart, so I'm going to use the reporter library. And I'm going to select the All Project Summaries report definition. Since it's reporting on project sites that exist below my current location, I'll include all subsites. Next, I'm going to select the report type, and we're going to select the chart report so that we can make a chart. As with other reports, I can set the title of the chart here. This will be Project Summaries, Costs, because I'm going to track the costs of the projects. Chrome type is default and I'll let that alone, and I'll leave the rendering and performance settings the way they are. Next, what type of chart do I want to use? In this case, I'm going to select the column chart. And each chart type has its own set of settings depending on what type of chart it is. First, what is it I'm going to group on for each of these columns? And I'm going to choose department, because I'm going to summarize the department costs across all the projects. And then I'm going to enable the categorizations for this column so that I can choose multiple values to show in each of the column sets. In this case, we're looking at costs. So let's look at current costs and summarize that information, and planned cost and also summarize it, and finally actual costs. So those are the three columns for each department that I want to see in the chart. If I had additional values, I could add those up to 10. The next section is the chart appearance. There are several different themes that are built into the BrightWork Reporter for the different charts and reports that you want to do. In this case, these are color schemes. I'm going to choose the BrightWork 1 color scheme, and you can experiment with any of these depending on what kind of chart you want to produce. I can control the chart width, and I think I want this to be a little bit bigger and present on the page and be prominent. So I'm going to choose 600 pixels wide, and I'm going to let the height automatically adjust depending on the data that's being shown. But I could make this a specific level as well. I do want to show the chart border, and what kind of chart display do I want? It can be standard, which is two-dimensional, polar, which is a specialized chart, or I can make it a 3D chart, which stands out very nicely on the page. I also want to format it for readability. The next section that I click on is the chart title and legend. If I wanted to have a second title, I can add that in at this time. Also, if I want to show the legend for each of those categories, actual cost, planned cost, and current cost, I can show those at the bottom or the right, bottom or top, left, center, or right. So I'm going to show them at the bottom center here. The last setting is whether I want to show the actual data along with the columns. I'm going to leave that unselected right now, and I could, if I wanted to, specify exactly what color I wanted to use for a specific value. It doesn't really apply in this case, so I'm going to leave that blank. I click OK, and now I'll be able to see my chart. And that is how you create a chart report in BrightWork.